He'd probably pull some good punches because his arm's strong.
Yeah. That's all you ever do on the podcast anymore. It's these shitty fucking puns.
Welcome back to the Threeskins Podcast.
Hi, hello. How are you doing?
What are we doing today, Lewis?
Yes, Lewis is in charge today.
I'm in charge. We are going to be doing another tier list. If you haven't seen our last one, go and check it out. If you don't know what these are, a lot of people have been doing these on videos recently. We may do them as videos separately at some point, but we're just doing them in the podcast for now. Basically, you get a tier list. The last one we did was what animals could you beat in a fight? And we had all the, it went from anything from a rhino to a fucking shrimp.
It's quite a lot of animals you can grab by the head and just smack against.
Yeah, just smack stuff.
Lobster.
Yeah.
So there's loads of these tier lists on this website. There's loads of people have made loads of ones, but I'm sure there probably is one of these, but we made our own. We thought it would be funny if, what about historical figures? And all of these people are dead. They're all dead. Some of them ranging from hundreds of years ago to like quite recently. I made this tier list last night.
And if they weren't already dead, they will be after what we talk about.
And the tier list, there's 4-5 categories, and it goes from, I'd destroy them. The second one's like, it'd be tough, but I'd win. The middle ones could go either way. Then it's be close, but they'd probably hurt me. And then the last one is like, they would have me out cold. They would kill me. Yeah.
One bang.
And it goes like that. We've got 20 of them. Because I think the animal one that we did. Yeah, but
we did like 40.
Yeah, there were so many.
We probably did too many that day.
Yeah, we probably did. But yeah, for this one, I kind of thought of it. I did just discuss this with Matt. Neither of you two have seen anyone that I've got on my list, so you don't know.
I can imagine a few.
Yeah.
I can imagine, there's a few that...
But last time, what we did for the animals, to make it fair, we did it's just no weapons, you're one-on-one in an arena-style fight.
Naked.
But I feel like for this one, just for comedy value, I feel like it should be situational.
Because last time...
If this person is famous for doing something...
Yeah.
Then,
if he's famous for having boxing gloves on, you've got to fucking wear boxing gloves.
Yeah. Well, I think this one should be situational.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And we can use people's things against them,
clocking George Harrison over the head with a guitar, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You get what I mean? Yeah, that.
Because last time, I don't know if you remember, but last time we were doing animals you could fight with, and Greg just always was like, "Just get a rock." And it just got to the stage where it was like, okay.
Even when he didn't need one, he wanted to rock them to death.
No, but the thing is that there's so many animals you can jump on their backs with a rock and just hit them in the head until they just fall.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Mate, yeah, but...
That's probably your only chance against
Blue
a lot
whale.
of animals.
I do remember saying that. I don't think the technique will work on a whale.
You can plug the hole with the rock.
I feel like it has too much force. Even if you're pushing down really hard, it would be able to blow it out. Surely,
maybe
hand grenade straight down the.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if... I was about to say, I wonder if anyone's ever done that, but that's definitely not. All right then, Lewis. Do you want to... All right, can I just point out something quickly before we start? We do have a tip jar down below.
We do.
Please donate if you want to see us do stuff.
Yeah.
Just read out your stuff. But we're thinking of Patreon. We're just trying to figure out tier list. Tier list. The tiers of what to do.
We do have a lot of stuff in the pipeline that we want to work on very soon. Guests, Patreon, normal videos aside from the podcast, because we do actually have a channel now.
We filmed a few, didn't we?
Yeah. It's the first video we filmed, to be honest, we did pick a very long edit. It's very hard. But that will go out. But maybe we'll film some smaller ones first. We might even just do some tier lists as videos. I'd like to do stuff though, we get drunk and watch. We'll go for a list of the shittest movies ever made. Do you know what I mean? And do little quick. We'll watch it all, film it, and then just cut it up, and we'll just talk shit about them. I feel like that.
I got an idea. Why don't we react to your acting career?
You could do that. You boys haven't really seen. We could do that if you want.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. There's not many.
No.
It would only be a 10-minute video.
That would be good though. And then
I've watched some of them back, when they first came, but I don't like.
I don't know.
It's the same as videos. I don't like watching it back.
I'm terrible with
the
idea of acting. If I did acting or someone filmed me doing karaoke, I'd never listen.
I'd love it. I'd love to get back into doing some more of it. It's just the time and the travel and all that. It's.
Oh, they make it hard, don't they? Are you part of an extras?
No, I got all of my work on something called Star now, which is like the lower end of like. There's lots of like if you want to get something like that, I think it's called Backstage and Spotlight. They're the good ones. But yeah, it didn't matter to me what I was doing. I just liked doing it. All of mine were all sort of fun. Like student films. But one of them went. The first one I did. The first ever student film I did, like I was when you say student film, I'm expecting like, oh, it's some nipper with a camcorder. Like, this lad was like 17. As soon as I got there, I was terrified because it was like proper like he'd gone all out, and I was like, Jesus, that fucking thing. It got played at Cannes.
Did it? Did they have like red cameras on that?
I don't know.
Do you remember them?
I don't know anything about cameras.
Red cameras are like that. Well, they're not so much anymore, but they were. Like,
they were big hooning like proper cameras, like
hooning.
Yeah,
I love that word.
Hooning.
Like, yeah, I was immediately like I was just shaky and like I was terrified.
Really?
Yeah.
For your first one?
Yeah, it was bad.
Mate, if you're terrified at that, these guys are gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, man.
Terrified I was a bit of Spotlight?
Because I'm terrified by a bit of Spotlight. No, because I'm gonna battle it by having a few beers and then I'll be rowdy. Right, so shall we just jump straight into this tier list? Okay, right. They weren't in any like particular order. I haven't done them like chronologically or anything. Right, so we'll start off with our guy Leonardo da Vinci.
See, there's not enough known about him to really know about his
He made
physique.
helicopters.
Yeah, but is he allowed... Yeah, but they didn't work. He'd probably kill himself trying to fight you because he's there like, haha, I got my helicopter.
No. But you've got to think about this. If it's situational, right? He must have had like a workshop where he did all this stuff, yeah? So I'm just going to go into his workshop while he's working and I'll just grab... Everything would have been made of wood back then, wouldn't it? They were making everything. Yeah. Just grab a big fucking 2x4. Just have it. He had a big beard as well, didn't he? You got a big beard.
Yeah, so
I'd have hold of that beard. Yeah. You know like how when you fight somebody in a bike helmet, that you grab the bottom of that helmet and you just do that beard.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah. If you ever like, there's loads of videos of people fighting because you think, oh, you got a bike helmet on, unprotected. You just grab the bottom of that. You just like.
Yeah, but I would just charge someone with it.
You could do that, I guess, but if someone gets hold of it and your head is strapped in it,
you're fucked, man.
That reminds me, I don't know if you were ever there. We tried to film a video once, like two of my friends. I didn't want to do it. I didn't realise until afterwards, like the ramifications that would come into it. Yeah. But they both had bike helmets on, as in like motorbike helmets, and they ducked their heads down and tried to ram each other's heads. Like,
yeah, you do.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We called it the ram, and it was like two bike helmets running. And they're ramming head first into each other, but I was like, it's going to break a neck.
Wasn't your neck, though?
Well, my neck.
You would break, that's bad. Like,
but also, when you crash in a bike helmet, you've got to get a new one.
Oh, crap.
Do you have to get a new one, did you say?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure
people probably don't.
Ruins the integrity of the helmet, doesn't it?
Yeah. Isn't it the same as, like, I'm sure if you have a baby seat in the car, when you crash... Even if it's just like a small thing, aren't you supposed to go and get the baby seat replaced?
That's probably
it's like
that's baby seat makers.
So much stuff to do with like babies and stuff is like made up shit. Like baby food, you can just go.
Like they're hard to look after.
You can just go get some vegetables and puree them and just feed it to the fucking. You don't need to get baby food and all that dumb shit.
That's a good point. Right, so yeah, where are we putting our boy Leonardo? I'd say I don't know about one bang, but I'd say I'll have him. I'd have him.
Mate, I think I'd have him.
I think with this though, yeah, obviously all these people are dead, but I think we'll do it like when they're in their prime. Do you know what I mean? So what sort of age or thing they were when they did their influential thing. Do you know what I mean?
He was old when he did his influential.
Right, so he's an old man, so I'm going to bang him out.
Yeah, and he's old, and he comes from like back in the day, fighting back in like Italian Renaissance. They probably were like, oh yes, come on.
Yeah.
Whereas now we've got MMA and stuff like that, you'd fucking need a skull in.
I'd roundhouse Leonardo da Vinci.
Can you imagine like the first person who like choked another human out, like when they fought?
Yeah, it's like,
dude, he's asleep.
I've got magic hands.
Yeah, have you done that?
To sleep.
They probably killed you for being a witch or something.
Yeah, man. Think about it.
The way
people from the past are stupid.
I think Leonardo would be quite easy to. I think also like even if you want to go like a sneaky route. Because, like, we come from the future. I'll just get a lighter out and be like, magic. And he'll trust me. He'll be like...
Just set fire to all of his stuff.
And he'll sit there and I'll be showing him all this stuff. And when he's got his back turned, Stab him.
No, his helicopter and all this other shit and his wings.
No, wait.
They're all made of wood. I'd be showing him this lighter and then I'd just burn his workshop down and leave him in it.
Yeah,
He's an old man.
I think people from the past, like especially like that far in the past, have just a distinct disadvantage to us modern people.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna point that out actually.
Unless they're hench as fuck. You know, if he's a little weedy scientist.
Leonidas.
This guy didn't even know about germs. You could cough at him and he'll die. You know what I mean? It's easy.
Wait, does that mean we can bring COVID back? Get COVID.
Bring it back.
Time machine.
But
what the fuck would happen but if that was the case though? If we created a flu back then? Like would we exist? Would it be like pictures of us would fade like Back to the Future?
Nah, fuck time travel.
Come on, let's be real.
I don't like thinking about
COVID
time
isn't
travel.
as bad as like the plague was.
So
So they've lived through plenty of shit and been all right.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Plague is pretty bad.
Even without
we're
all
talking
of
the Black Plague.
Well, this is like
any
bubonic plague.
of the plague.
this is like you cough a little bit, maybe you die if you're old. This is like, man, you got like black boils all over.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
that's
got a big
It's-
red X over your
Yeah.
house, like this place is condemned.
I was
Bring out your dead.
scared.
You know what I mean?
I was scared to death when getting that, like that and
What,
scurvy
plague?
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because in history it was like you get the bubonic plague and then you die.
It killed a third of Europe.
Yeah,
and
and
all
I was
that
like,
shit. Yeah, like it's like, oh shit.
and I fucking like no, I didn't touch a rat for at least 2 years.
Yeah,
and then. And then it was scurvy as well. Like pirates get scurvy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've probably had scurvy at some point in
Do you
my life.
reckon?
The way I
Yeah.
eat, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm better now as I got older,
we
but-
probably all had scurvy at some point.
Like when I was
No,
like,
I like my
14,
citrus.
15, 16, my diet was
I do you remember the Polo citrus? Those
Vaguely.
were good, man.
I remember the fruity polos. I think they still do those, but
I
you
think-
hardly ever see them. I used to
yeah, I
love the fruity polos.
Hey Greg, do you remember Green Mist?
Yeah, green mist. Yeah.
Do you want to
I
tell
know,
us?
I know this. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, you
used to
took a
put
bunch of green
suck
shit
them and
and
then
you-
spray them out like that wrestler. Yeah.
All
So
right,
yeah, where are we putting Leonardo? I
I'll
would say,
bang him.
well, you reckon one bang.
I think for Matt it'd be a
It's the
one
con-
bang,
it's
but
the
for us we'd have to a little struggle.
I'd think, I don't know if it would be a struggle. That's the thing, but I don't actually know. He's an old bloke with a big beard, and look at that little hat he wears. I'd bang him out.
All right, we'll say one bang.
Just think about it like this though. They always used to live in like really tall towers with spirally staircases. You just boot them down one.
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
true. Yeah, I think he'd be too vulnerable.
We're putting Leonardo in one bang.
Yeah,
That's a one bang.
Especially since the thing
What
is,
else did he try to invent? Was it parachutes?
I don't know, mate.
He had like a glider thing, didn't he?
glider.
Because you use it
Thing
when
of
the Assassin's
Man.
Creed,
He
don't you?
used to sit and
Yeah.
just cut apart dead bodies all day and like draw
You
it.
get on.
Yeah, we'll get on, and I'll be sat there like, oh yes, this and that, and then when his back's turned, I'll get a bone out, snap it in half, get the pointy bit, stab it.
Ah, that's quite a good idea.
Why don't you just use one of the tools that he's using to cut a person up?
Because that's not as dramatic.
I'd be like, oh, that's a nice scalpel. Can I have a look at that quickly?
Yeah, but Lewis, think about this. How many people have been stabbed? How many people have been stabbed with a broken bone?
Yeah,
That's a good point.
and also I'd be his grave like robber. Because he'd be like, I need like new fucking carcasses. I'd be like, man, I can fucking go rob some
You get the
graves.
fresh ones?
Italian graves.
Italian
Back in the
graves.
medieval times, that's easy fucking pick.
Easy pickings, mate.
No, but I understand germs, so I won't get it. I have gloves on, PPE, all of it.
PP.
You know what
Where
I
are
mean?
you going to find that?
I'll bring it back with me.
In
I'm
like
not to bring some
1600s
tools.
Italy.
Sure, okay, if I can time travel...
Has anyone got a mask?
so if we're time traveling, are we saying it's...
One of those big ones with the
it
fucking...
like-
Yeah, the
Is it
plague
Terminator
doctors.
rules where you go back and you're just naked when you get there? Or can you go back and you can take a few things with you?
Terminator rules. Nah, I don't know. It has to be of the time. It's got to be.
What was the point in those big plague doctor masks?
They filled.
Was it because it was so long that it took longer for the breathe air to come
They
in?
filled
like,
it with
wouldn't-
shit, but I think a lot of it was
they filled
also
it with
because it
weird
looked cool.
smells. Yeah.
Because a lot of times, you like think about a lot of shit we have. It's because it looks cool. It's not because it's practical.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got- sometimes you just want to look cool. Like Bobbies with the fucking tall hats.
Yeah.
That's not practical.
No, but
No, it's not.
The whole thing was filled with like herbs and stuff, wasn't it, to get rid of the smell?
I think
The
so.
smell of what? Plague.
Yeah, like
Well, just
fucking
dead bodies.
like,
Yeah, dead bodies are bad smell, man.
You-
Why
Bubonic
didn't
corpse.
everybody walking around have one of those? Fucking hell, it stinks around here. Why did only the doctor have it?
Because they were peasants.
Yeah, man.
So the doctor was earning money from sorting out plague.
Dude, these people were picking grain and eating their shit.
Rub some leaves on it, you'll be alright.
You know,
and he gets the mask.
Yeah, of course he does. Because he's the doctor.
Right, should we move on to the next one? The next one.
One bang.
The next one is Mr. Benjamin Franklin.
Nah, this guy's got electricity and shit, man.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, no, but also,
Natural
if we're
electricity.
talking like we're fighting them when they did them at their prime, when they did their most influential thing. Benjamin Franklin was an old cunt as well, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
What did he do again?
He did something like
he got kitening.
Did something with a kite and a key.
Yeah, but all of that sort of shit that you hear like that in history, that is clearly something that Benjamin Franklin has gone and told someone else. You don't know that. It's most likely not true.
There's like no video footage.
So we're saying Benjamin Franklin's a bullshit. Yeah, I never saw any of that
video footage.
Live leak or anything.
He did. I'm pretty sure he fought in a revolution and won, though. Have you fought in a revolution and won?
I have not, but...
Yet.
Yeah. But also, like, their revolutions would have been shit revolutions with muskets and... Do you know what I mean? We've got like drone warfare and stuff now. Like,
yeah, but we can't bring that back with us.
No, we can't. But he is still a stupid old man playing around with keys and electricity. I'll just push him into his electric machine.
Yeah, but he was
didn't have electric machine.
Yeah, but he was
what was he? Whatever he was conducting. Because he did electric experiments, didn't he?
No, he didn't. That's
Edison,
isn't it?
No, he was Look, that picture of him there. It's something to do with a key. And Google it. You're
missing one really important factor here.
He got shot by lightning.
First off, he's American. Mm-hmm. Second, this motherfucker was one of the guys that signed the Second Amendment. Now, you know what the Second Amendment lets you have? Some guns. Do you have a gun? Because this guy's got guns.
Yeah, but they're crap
Yeah, but he's
guns.
an old twat. I'll take his gun off of him and shoot him with it.
How do you know you're going to be able to do it before him?
Listen, if they miss, it's like, oh, wait, can you just stand there for like 5 more minutes?
While I reload this and put the gun powder.
It could be a good shot. You don't know. He could be a good shot.
He could be a good shot, but...
Well, he's got electric bullets in that. electric musket balls.
Nah, I'll one bang him.
Nah, I think you guys are not giving him enough credit.
I'll fucking bend him in half.
He did create the lightning hypothesis and experimental conditions to prove it. So he experimented with lightning.
Nah, that's just boring. Yeah, put him.
No, but he did it through kites. Didn't he?
Nah.
But in that picture, he's holding a key up to a lightning.
Nah, I've changed my mind. He's one bang.
Nah, this is what I do. Right?
That's nerd shit.
This is what I do. Is I'd beat him up, so I'd break both his legs, and then I'd tie like 5 kites to him.
Right, here we go. The kite experiment is a scientific experiment in which a kite with a pointed conductive wire attached to its apex is flown near thunder clouds to collect electricity from the air and conduct it down to the wet kite on the ground. It was proposed and may have been conducted by Benjamin Franklin.
Conducted. Very good. Whoever wrote that.
The experiment's purpose was to uncover the facts about the nature of lightning and electricity, and with further experiments on the ground to demonstrate that lightning and electricity were the result of the same phenomenon. But yeah, look, he's got like a key. It's like a key on a wire, and the lightning comes down the wire like Doc Brown, and then it's something to do with the key.
Maybe he's trying to build a time travel device.
Maybe. Clearly didn't work, because I haven't seen them, bloke.
So if we piss him off too much, he's going to time travel to the future. I mean, this guy's got powers, man. I think you guys underestimate him.
He's got mad electric powers.
Now, this is what I would do, yeah. I'd go along and be I'd make out like I was really interested in helping him out in one of his lightning experiments, yeah. I go, oh right, yeah. So, and when he's on the wire and the lightning comes down, and he's doing whatever, I just chuck a big bucket of water on him. He just fry like.
I always wondered, yeah. So if you get them, can you get electrocuted enough that you see a skeleton?
Nah.
No. I don't know.
That's just something you've got from home.
No.
That's a cartoon thing, isn't it?
No.
When you see the skeleton inside.
No, because I saw this thing recently, right? And it was you know Rio Bravo, where they did all the nuclear tests in America before they dropped it on, the Japanese or whatever. They said that they turned their back and closed their eyes, and the radiation would make it so they could see through their eyelids and through their
That's radiation, and that's not just pure electricity.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying it's
possible.
possible.
There was a similar story about all the the soldiers, wasn't there?
Radiation, electricity, they're different things.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is like
it's the same story with all the soldiers on the boat,
possible.
wasn't it? When they first tested them out in the water, and they had all the lads on the boat.
That makes no sense.
And they were like, nobody look at it, and all the lads put their hands over their eyes, and they all said they could see through their eyelids, and they could see the bones in their hands. I can see through my eyelids. Like you, Carl Pilkington.
I can see through my eyelids.
No, well, yeah, you can. I can see like red. It looks red.
Right, where are we putting Benjamin Franklin, boys? I reckon it would be. I'd have him, but I don't know about a one bang. Because, like you say, he does have a gun and possibly a time machine.
Yeah, he has a gun. I wouldn't.
Do you know what I'd do to him? You know, in Jackass 2.5 where they do the anal beads kite, I'd do that, but with a metal dildo up his ass and just fucking tie him down.
If it was fisticuffs, yeah, you'd probably beat an old man up. But this old man could have a gun.
Yeah,
Americans, you can't trust Americans. Dude, you can be up there and he'll be like, yeah, I'll fight you 1-on-1, and they're all fair, and then he just gets gunned down and shoots you.
Gets his musket out.
You can't trust Americans.
You're thinking like,
don't trust Americans.
He gets his blunderbuss out.
Yeah,
like a revolver.
Flintlock pistol, that's still going to do some damage.
No, it's not.
You are not going to survive a flintlock pistol
I've been shot by something harder than a flintlock.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
No, you haven't.
You have. Yeah.
You have not been shot.
Right, are we
fucking
putting
flintlock pistol? Or
I can survive it. That's fucking pussy wounds.
Oh, maybe you're fat.
Are we putting Benjamin Franklin in the second one? I'll have him jump.
Yeah.
Are we agreed on that? You think you'd one bang?
No, yeah, but we are a democracy.
Yeah, we are a democracy.
So, right. Put him as...
Okay, so our next one is William Shakespeare.
What would we battle him in? Like a battle to the death, or is it a battle words?
Just a fight.
Me and you could battle rap him.
Yeah, but he wouldn't understand anything that we were saying.
It's not too different.
Unless we was like, forsooth, you'll lose. Hoopity boot, like we just went on a... do you know what I mean? You went on one of those, and maybe he would be like, touche.
I think you could do with Shakespeare.
I'd just grab his quill and just stick it up his fucking nose or whatever, and just... he wore that big rufflet thing, didn't he? I'd just grab that, and...
Perfect for garroting.
I'd go up to him and I'd be like, hello there. And I would...
Great.
I would sit and speak modern English to him, and he would be so like...
in it, bro.
Yeah, he would be like, let me get my quill, and he'd be go on, say that, and and then while he was doing that, he just
when his back's turned, he gets stabbed, shivved.
I think
you got to kill him with a spear.
Where are you getting a spear from? In like
Shakespeare?
Oh. Okay, how did I not even...
You get a spear, you spear him, and then you shake it.
You shake it a little
Where'd you get the spear from, though? Where's the spear come from?
Dude, it's the fucking medieval times. There's spears everywhere.
Yeah.
No, but we're talking like, bang, you get zapped straight from now where you are to wherever he was when he was doing his most... So you'd be like, boom, and you've got whatever you've got right now, and you're just in his house, and he sat there by candlelight, writing, and he goes, oh, who are you? And you're in his... How are you beating him? You've got stuff around you.
I am a man from the future.
Wait, can I just point out? Are we talking about beating him in a fight or killing him? Because I've just been thinking about annihilating them.
Well, however you want to go about it, you could just beat them up until they're knocked out. But if it comes to like,
you have to remember also that he comes from a time where like everyone was malnourished. So he's probably weak, he's probably quite short. No,
this bloke was putting on plays, he had all the bitches at the front, like he would have been rich for whatever.
Yeah, but they said it might have been a woman.
Yeah, but it wasn't, was it?
Well, if it's a woman, there's one bang in this guy.
If it's a woman, I'm saying...
that's why I specifically didn't put any women on this list.
Yeah,
no.
We're not going to go down those.
Otherwise, we just send Sean Connery back.
Funnily enough.
Fucking moron. Oh, is he in this? Is he in this?
Right, so we'll put William Shakespeare down. Where are we putting Shakespeare?
It has to be a one bang.
I think I'd one bang Shakespeare.
It's hard to say because I don't know much about
him. And the thing
him.
is like even
just wrote some dumb
even if he's just
things.
woken up after being knocked out, he's still talking like.
In fact,
I think you wouldn't understand him either way.
I think. I feel like the built-up rage of having to read his shit through English, like a school, like empower me.
Yeah, oh my god!
You'd be sat there thinking about all the hours you wasted with those
fucking, this is for the Tempest.
This fucking
this is for Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, you're just there like this doff thou shit. Fucking.
Why can't you just use real English? Oh mate. Well, he was at the end of my list, but now that we know, should we just go straight onto it? Sean Connery.
No, I have to one bang him. I have,
back in the day, mate, he would fucking knock you out.
Back in the day, yeah. So we're talking when he did his most influential.
His prime.
So his prime.
When he was there,
Sean Connery.
We're talking my prime though.
Sean Connery just after he's done.
I think he'd have you, mate.
No.
Sean Connery just after he's done Dr. No. He is.
Nah, it's got to be Thunderbolt.
He'd have me.
Right, well, then.
I
think Sean Connery's.
He comes from
he's having you.
He's Scottish, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They give it that
Scottish people are pretty good at fighting, from what I've seen.
Nah, I can fight him.
I think he'd have me. I'll put him on the have me.
You're just going to say that about everybody.
Yeah, he is.
No, I'm
this
doing
isn't
I'm doing it to avenge the people he's going to beat up in the future.
Fucking hell. This podcast isn't about stroking your own ego. All right.
All of his wives.
Yeah, exactly.
How many wives does he have?
I don't know.
7?
I don't know if he beat all of his wives, but that's libelous.
He definitely talked like he fucking did.
Yeah, what? He's a dickhead.
If a lady
well, he's dead
pound,
dickhead, so that's alright.
I give her a swift right hook. Yeah, so where are we putting Sean Connery? I think he'd have me. I'd say they'll
I'll be honest.
I'd say fair fight.
I wouldn't say you died.
Honestly.
I wouldn't say you died, but I'd say yellow. They deck me.
I think he'd deck me.
Yeah.
He's not old, especially if we're talking him in his prime.
How old was he when he did the first James Bond? He was probably in his 40s.
39, 41, that period of his life.
Nah, yeah, I don't think he'll win enough.
What about Sean Connery, sort of like the Rock era, sort of like Last Crusade? Junior.
Hard to say.
He's an old man then. I think I'd have him. Ultimately,
Nah,
I think he'd still put up a fight.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fair fight.
But here's one thing that I always
I'm not a particularly strong person. I think it probably
there's some old fellas who are hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's that fucking one on the bus where he beats that guy to the point he's like, bring the ambulance.
Yeah, I've watched enough fights online to know that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how old somebody is or how little they are, or you never know what psycho you're talking to.
I think I think we put him in. He'll have us.
Might
not have Matt.
You think it would be a fair fight?
Yeah, but it's democracy.
Yeah.
So.
Sean Connery, I think he wouldn't kill you. He's not going to one bang you, but I think he would ultimately.
No, he wouldn't one bang you. It'd take a few hits, but
next is Elvis.
Right.
I can't stand his fucking shitty music. It's so bad. It's just no one gives a shit.
Remember Grand Theft Auto?
Okay, so when we're talking his prime, we're talking back when he was young and he's like, we're talking when he's got the fucking white suit and he's got big belly.
Nah, in his prime.
Shit.
Because he did fight in the war as well.
I feel like it's just if he was back, if it was with the white suit times, because that's when he's in his prime. That's when everyone knew him.
It depends when you could. I guess so.
And if you think about it like this, he was.
I don't know if that was his prime.
He was one step away from a heart attack at that point, so he'd be putting up the fight and then drop. You wouldn't even have to hit him.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd make sure he died on the toilet so it stayed the same. He did, didn't he? You pretend that you don't like Elvis, and it's okay. It's okay if you do like Elvis.
No, I don't.
I do think you do like Elvis quite a lot.
No. I don't hate Elvis.
Get your Spotify playlist out.
I don't have a Spotify playlist, but there's no Elvis on my. I use YouTube Music.
Let me film. If I call you and it's fucking.
There are a few Elvis tracks that I do like, but I wouldn't consider myself an Elvis fan.
He's shit.
But I don't hate him like you guys do. But there are a few songs that I don't
like. What are some of his good songs?
Love Me Tender is great.
Love Me Tender.
I love fucking Blue Suede Shoes. That's a good song.
Step on my blue suede shoes. Is that that song? Yeah.
What was the thing he used to eat?
Hoagies.
No. I know
like a certain term for it. We made it, didn't we?
He made it when he was at his fattest, and he used to make he had I don't know how many a day, but it was like a grilled. 3. It was like a grilled cheese, peanut butter, and bacon. Sandwich or something.
Me and Greg and it had grape jam in it as well.
Yeah.
Me and Greg made one.
It was
size.
It was actually really tasty.
That he had, and I could only finish half of it.
It was tasty.
He was such a slob.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, I think the fact that he.
So when he started, he was like you guys, but when he ended,
I think he's a slob. So
this
I think
is what fame does.
He's a fat slob, so I think we could probably have him.
If in his fat slob days, definitely, but in his prime,
if it is prime,
when he was starring in all those movies and when he was releasing all of his biggest music, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
it depends which one.
Been stronger back then. You did more, and you probably were stronger.
Yeah, and he did go out in
I'm not
World
exactly
War II.
a fighter, so maybe he would have.
Was it World War II? Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm almost certain, yeah. Because he was big in like the 50s and shit,
yeah,
wasn't he? Yeah,
50s.
so it would have been World War II. I don't know how much actual like fighting he saw, but he definitely did.
Oh, he's a veteran. I think he might have me, yeah. I'll let him have me.
Fair fight.
I think
you go fair fight if you want, but I think I'd get beaten up by him. If he was like old and eating those old fucking sandwiches and shitting on toilets for like an hour a day, I'd have him. But...
Because of that though, should we just put him in the middle? Because if you're talking when he's at his oldest, I think there's a chance you could have him. But if in his prime, I think there's a chance he could bang you. So shall we just put him middle of the road just for that?
All right.
Does that make sense?
So, I agree, but I need to hear Greg sing a lyric in his accent, in his cadence.
What?
Love me tender.
Love me tender.
You sound.
That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
That's what he sounds like. Stupid. Dumb quiffhead.
Right.
Quiffhead. That's quite good. I like that. He was quiffy.
He was. The originator of that.
Yeah, probably. Now he's fucking...
The next one is Napoleon.
Well, everyone says he's tiny.
I did some extensive research into this. Well, not extensive. I looked for like 2 minutes. They thought it's always been common knowledge that he was 5'2", which is small as fuck.
Yeah, but 5'2" is very short.
There's a thing, and it was like the way that in that time how French measurements. How they did stuff, it's all like metric and
okay.
So there's a chance he was he was still short, but there's a chance he wasn't 5'2", he was more like 5'6" or 7, which is still short.
No, I still got quite a height advantage.
That's still short, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the average size back then was short because there's a village near us and all of the houses are like the pubs and stuff. I have to duck to get in.
If you don't live in England, obviously, because like
they're like low door frames.
Yeah, you go anywhere like an old village where like, and you go to those sort of like Tudor-esque kind of even if you're like, I'm not that tall, I'm like 5'10" ish. Yeah, like, and even then, when you go in those old beamed house, like it's all hitting your head and stuff. Like it's fucked. Like people must have been considerably shorter back then.
I tell you what. Do you know how I'd get him?
Go on.
I'd tear his bones apart.
What?
That was his last name, wasn't
it? Bonaparte.
Yeah. No, I'll tear his bone apart.
You gotta stop with these fucking stupid fucking wordplay, whatever it's called.
I half rated that and was half.
Alright, so my opinion is he's shorter. He's used to because like he's a general, isn't he? Yeah. He doesn't fight. He just sits there and goes, "I'll go over there. I'm gonna eat some tea." No, but to become
a general, you gotta go through the...
Okay, maybe he did. Maybe he was like prime fighter, but I feel like he probably came from a rich family and he wasn't. I feel
like though, if this is like 1-on-1 though, you spawn and you're like in his quarters on his boat or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and he's like all 5'5" of him. He's like, "What are you doing?" I reckon I'd have him.
Nah, but then he'd be like, "Guards!"
No, the guards aren't allowed to cut. It's a...
Okay, if the guards aren't allowed to join in, yeah, you'd have him. Yeah. You'd push him off the boat. He's a little fucking...
It's got to be like it's got to be like in Elden Ring when you go through the mist. And it's just like, like you 1-on-1.
I'd convince all of his men to like mutiny and we'd stick him in the cannon and fire him out. He could fit
like Knoxville.
He could fit in the cannon. Yeah, fuck me. That was amazing that. He got up.
He did.
He went so
But also you got to remember, if he is a military veteran, the way they used to fight back then was like, areas, and then muskets, and then fire.
Why did they do that?
I don't know why they did it, but that's what they did.
With a
and to me, that doesn't seem like a vicious killer. That just seems like he was very good at marching and pointing a stick. So I feel like, he'd have him.
I miss war with arrows. They're cooler.
They're cooler, but they're not as good.
They make the...
graphic though. I'd rather be shot than
and like when you're hit with something, you can't like really pull it out, and like it's like you've got like a marker on you. You've been hit.
At least with an arrow, you got a chance to dodge it.
I don't know.
Nah.
You could just put a shield up and it just...
Oh, Greg, let me fire arrows at you.
Real ones.
You probably have before.
I'm
saying... I'm saying...
With rubber tips.
I'll have him.
I might buy that, actually, for a video.
We thinking...
I'm thinking...
You still got yours?
No, it's gone.
Yeah, we'll get another one.
I'm thinking not a one bang, but I think I'd have him.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd have him.
I think I'd have him. He's like 5'4" or whatever. Like
I mean, like on on paper, my weight difference between him is probably a 1 bang.
Yeah, he'd be like up to here on you.
Mm.
You just push him aside and kick him.
Yeah.
And he wears
And
that he wears that big stupid hat as well, doesn't he? Like
I wouldn't put
grab that and pull it down his head.
I wouldn't put 1 bang.
So you can't see.
I wouldn't put 1 bang just because maybe
face.
his military experience is pretty good.
Yeah.
But even if it is, the size and height difference.
Yeah.
He's a little bitch.
You just hold him back like that, like, you know, and he'd be like.
Yeah.
I think you'd have him.
Yeah, you'd have him.
Let's bang him out.
Right. The next one is Isaac Newton.
Nerd.
Nah, he was complete nerd. He shut away in his room his entire life. Died a virgin, literally 1 bang.
Did he?
Yeah, 1 bang. Just 1 bang.
What, just because he's a virgin?
I don't even... Yeah, what
you reckon he can 1 bang every virgin? At least he gets 1 bang before he dies.
Right, I'm going to say this now.
Come on, Greg, you like that one. You like that one.
1 bang before he dies, yeah. I'm going to say this now. As we've said, we don't kink shame unless there's a few of them. We don't virgin shame either, because I'm gathering a few of our fans probably are.
Yeah, that was fair enough if you haven't had sex. But in my opinion, this
completely
guy
fine.
was like in his
I've had long dry spells.
This guy was like in his
mate,
but this guy was like in his 30s or 40s, yeah? He ain't banged. He's...
Did he die at like 40?
I don't know, he died
Not very
at some
smart,
point.
was it?
But I don't know, man. And he's just a nerd. He sat there doing fucking
nerd.
Calculus
all
day.
Yeah.
Wait,
you think he's gonna...
What a geek.
He's such a
Playing
hermit
with
that
apples and
He's lived a
like-
privileged life. He's gone to university in the 1700s. Do you know how privileged you have to be for that?
I wouldn't just beat him up. I would like bully him. I'd like grab his apple and like, make him swallow it.
Because back then, mate, fucking, what's it? A flushy, whatever.
Flushy. It wasn't a fucking... What is it? A swirly's
Swirly.
But
They hadn't
one.
but they hadn't been invented yet, so you'd be the first one to ever get one.
The first swirly in an outhouse. Yeah.
I suppose there's another word for it. No, anyway, do you remember a video that me and you shot where you're sat under a tree, like reading a book? Do you remember that clip?
Yeah.
I remember that video.
Do you remember that video?
Yeah, and then like one apple hits me, and then I
And then
just
like
get
100.
One apple like dunks you on the head, and then you're like, and then like we tipped a whole bucket of
What
apples.
was that for? Because there was another video that you guys did as well, I'm sure. Wasn't it like some black and white, like...
Oh my god.
Noir-esque kind of like...
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think I'll never be able to find that one.
That one was...
I remember... Fucking hell,
Yeah, we're just smoking cigars, and we're just pretending to be like old men. Like,
yeah.
Oh yes, women. No, they need to be back in the kitchen. It's just all that sort of shit.
I remember those. You'd have to try and find those. They'd be funny to watch or like react to.
They
Yeah.
would.
Anyway, Newton's
getting a 1 bang.
a complete 1 bang.
He's getting a 1 bang.
He's just a 1 bang. You would, wouldn't you?
Right, well, this next one might be a little bit different. Bruce Lee.
Kill.
1 bang.
Death. He
Dead.
would kill me.
Dead.
I'll kill him.
He'd do that like, you know that thing that like the finger, like you just
Yeah.
one, and stop your heart.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Is the big problem. Even if you've got a height or weight difference on him, he knows what he's doing.
I don't think there's any...
I'm being facetious.
Once upon a time in Hollywood is purely fictional. I don't think that would happen. I think Bruce Lee would have most normal people.
Yeah.
Unless you had 99% of people.
Real fight. Unless you had real proper fighting experience, you're not being that man.
Nah.
Dead.
I think the only people that...
Experienced fighters would. Like, an MMA fighter probably take on
would have a
Bruce Lee.
chance.
Well,
Like,
I wouldn't be able to fight him.
What MMA fighter from now do you reckon would kill Bruce Lee?
Like, any of them, really? Because they've...
It's different.
MMA is just a different kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
his sort of fighting is like, you can use it, but a lot of it is more showy. The stuff that MMA fighters do now is like...
Some of it's showing.
Yeah,
Some of it, but not
the
as much
vast
as
majority of MMA fighting
Like
is
wheel
like
kicks
built to be just win. Who can like that? Whoever can win.
I wonder if
Whereas back then it wasn't just about winning. It was also about winning with a proper technique and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even then, death. He would kill us.
Yeah.
I think he
I agree.
knock us out and then choke us when we're
I
down.
would want him to as well.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to be known as the guy who got killed by Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd take it, wouldn't you?
Mate, actually, no. I'd just give him an aspirin.
I don't know if that's true, if that was the aspirin that killed him, but...
What?
Yeah.
I'll
that's bad.
I'd punch him in the head and then be like, I'm really sorry. Here's some aspirin.
Dude, I do what aspirin though, like do you remember I don't know if I've ever talked about that on the podcast. When I had that fucking do you remember when I had my fucking like fiasco and I was talking to your mum obviously about like your mum's a nurse and so she like whenever like you lot obviously grew up anytime you hurt yourself, straight too much. But I remember speaking to your mum about it. I've always taken aspirin. It's Anodin I used to take, and that's aspirin, isn't it?
It's like aspirin and paracetamol.
Anodin's the only thing I've ever used that's ever like got rid of headaches for me. And I took an Anodin one day, and I've always taken them. And I remember taking an Anodin, and literally for like the next 3 or 4 days, I called 111 out like twice. I kept waking up in the middle of the night, and like my stomach, I felt like somebody was stabbing me in the stomach. I was genuinely like in tears, like rolling around on the floor, like I don't know what to do. I had 111 out. My shits were pure black for like 4 or 5 days, and I remember your mum saying to me, like, if your shits are pure black, that's like blood in your guts or something.
It can be, yeah.
And since then, I've never taken one ever again. Honestly, it was.
Even when you got the worst headache.
Yeah, no, I won't.
You nearly got Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh fuck!
It was fucking savage, honestly. Like,
all it does.
I don't like going to the doctors or calling doctors out. I will only go to a doctor if I'm on death's door. And I had 111 out at like 4 a.m. I was rolling around on the kitchen floor.
Fuck!
Like,
I know how much that would take.
I was rolling around on the kitchen floor, like almost, like nearly in tears. Like I don't know what to do. Like,
stomach pains.
Yeah, it was like someone was stabbing me in the stomach. It was.
Was it
so
worse
bad.
than the chili blender?
Yeah, 1,000,000 times.
Was it?
Yeah, honestly, it was.
That's
brutal.
the worst I've ever seen you, by the way.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Apart from that time you were ill in Amsterdam.
I don't know what I had just some flu or some shit. You're like, can I film you? And I'm in there like, no.
Oh, you fucking got
feeling all sorry for myself. Yeah.
Right. You interested there, Greg?
Pussies.
What were you looking at on your phone?
Huh?
What were you looking at on your phone?
Just anything else?
You're a piece of garbage.
By the way, I will say this now. Because obviously we can make these tier lists ourselves, please let us know in the comments what tier lists you like to see us do. The main premise is normally who you could beat in a fight, but they can be about anything, really. And we've got a couple other ideas of stuff that we want to do for the tier list. But if you have any ideas like, oh, why don't you do famous actors or this or that or blah blah blah, please let us know, because I'd like to see, and let us know as well if you agree and disagree with all of these.
Yeah.
Who we on to next?
Oh, hang on. Go on.
What do you want to say?
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
What?
It was about Bruce Lee. It doesn't matter.
But we might
on to the next one. On to the next one.
About Bruce Lee.
Next time we ever talk about Bruce Lee.
It was only about how he used to like wank over him when he was a kid and that. Like.
No, but I did have a like. Have you ever had a thing where you have like a sudden vivid memory that you haven't thought about in like decades?
Yeah.
I got that recently, and oh my god, I can't believe that it happened.
What is it?
No, we'll save it for the next podcast.
No, we'll forget by the next podcast.
Okay,
I've already forgotten.
No, it's a bit weird.
I don't care.
I had one of these the other day actually,
Did ya?
as well, and I told Tom about my mate about it last night, and he was bust. He was like, "I can't believe you just told me." So
bust.
maybe we'll do. He was laughing a lot.
Come on.
All right.
But yeah, we'll do.
Bussing.
Maybe we'll talk about other embarrassing.
That's a new language for you, Shakespeare. Bussing.
We'll do a whole podcast about like embarrassing or weird shit from years ago that we'd forgotten about. And, like,
man, I've had so many weird shit happen to me.
Yeah.
How about when I nearly got kicked out of college?
Oh yeah, man. That's some...
Have we never told that story?
I don't think, not fully.
Oh, it's so good. We'll do.
All right, we'll get back to that.
Right, should we move on? Should we move on to the next one?
Right.
Yeah.
The next one is Samuel Pepys.
Who's that?
You know who that is?
Samuel Pepys.
Mm-hmm.
He's the inventor of Peeps. You know.
Peeping.
Did either of you know who this is?
Peeping Tom. His name's Tom, is it?
This was one of those sort of things. Like I was looking.
The diary. He wrote a diary. Yeah.
I was looking through the list of all like influential people. Do you know what I mean? I was looking at loads, and I saw that name, and it unlocked a light. I was like, "Fuck! I haven't thought about that since I was in like primary school." I don't know if you guys did it, because obviously there's a big age gap. But like me and the years around me, you know, like up a bit and then down. We all did in like primary school. It must have been like, I don't know, year 3, 4, 5. Everybody learnt about like the Great Fire of London.
Yeah.
And this and that. And we all learnt about that. And Samuel, do you not remember doing that?
I refused to learn at school. So
Samuel Pepys basically, he was famous for he kept a diary, but he lived through like a lot
1066.
Yeah, he lived through like 3 or 4 like really crucial. He lived through like the Plague or the Black Death. He lived through the Great Fire of London, and he lived through some kind of like revolution as well.
And we trusted him.
He diaried all
I
of
don't
this.
trust any fucking diary.
I wouldn't trust a diary. You ever read a fucking teenage girl's diary, man? Some of the shit in there, you're like, what the fuck's this shit?
When you reading that, you fucking creep.
Yeah, what?
When I was
Samuel Creeps.
That's good. That was a good one.
Hey, you're liking them, eh?
But you know what I mean? Like, I hate it that so much of our history is just based on what some dickheads put in his fucking diary. It makes no sense.
Didn't we have, like, isn't a lot of stuff unknown because didn't the Romans, like, wasn't there like a massive library of all recorded things didn't they burn it?
Oh yeah,
Arabian.
They burnt loads of records. The library
and stuff, didn't they? Alexandria. Yeah. The library in Alexandria.
Yeah.
So we know a little bit of history, boys.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, they burnt it.
I do quite like history.
Christians burnt it down to the ground because Christians don't like knowledge.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
What? They do like knowing about the Bible.
Who are their favourite people? The dumb and the blind.
No, but
look, we're not trying to be mean. If you're a Christian,
believe in whatever you want.
We're not trying to be mean.
No. Come on, the Christians. Yeah, what's the point in the library? They only fucking read one book.
Exactly. I think that's half of the reason they burned it down. They were just like,
don't need any other books.
What's all this nerd shit?
We're taking up space. Right, we need one book. This library we'll keep it the same, and it will have one book.
To be fair, I do envy the Christians. It's a simple life. You know, like when you're not a Christian, you have to look through loads of different things. You have to read lots of different religious texts. Try and absorb as much as you can. They just have to read one book.
Isn't that the same with any religion, though? Really?
Yeah, I know. It's the same with all religions.
Yeah.
If you believe in one particular thing and you never leave
but I don't know if that necessarily makes it simpler. I guess it's
a simple life.
If you've been brought up that way your whole life and it's all you've ever known, and you're like 50 years old and that's all you've ever. Because I know someone who's Jehovah's Witness, and they don't like he doesn't do anything off the he doesn't know any different. That's just how shit is. And sometimes you look and you think, fucking hell, you miss out on so much, but they don't because that's just just what they used to.
It's a simple life. It's like for example,
I guess you're right there.
Imagine if you're like you're born a Christian, you believe in it, and you've never left that life.
Yeah. Like
when you have like a big question about the universe, and you're like. Or like just meaning or death or what's going to happen when you die.
God.
If you don't believe in any of it, you have to sit there and you have to figure it out for yourself. You have to look at all the scientific theories, what religious people say, spiritual stuff. You look at all of it and it's confusing. For them, it's not confusing. It's just like,
God.
I'm going to go to heaven and then we're going to sing hymns all days. You know what I mean?
And they don't consider any other, like, I guess so. Because as soon as you're like, I don't give a fuck and I don't believe in any of that, you say you don't, but then in the back of your head, there's always, it's like, yeah, but what does happen? What is the truth? And then you constantly you're always thinking about your morality. Then you second guess yourself.
That being said, we love our Christian brothers. Look, now...
Believe in whatever you want.
Now an atheist joke, because we all are pretty much atheists.
I'm not an atheist, I'm an agnostic.
Yeah, it's the same.
We had this argument
Are you
before.
Actually?
It's the same thing.
See, because he doesn't like the term agnostic.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know it's the same thing. But
I think I've got a cream for that.
No, but if you say that you're agnostic,
yeah, no, it's
if it's a Christian girl,
it's a pussy way of saying
Christian girl's more likely to go towards the agnostic
guy.
No, but
Greg,
than the atheist,
because they
think maybe I can sway it.
Greg, I'm an atheist. Yeah, I don't believe God exists. However, if God is in the sky going, "Hello, Matthew. Hello, world," and then he shows me everything, then I'm obviously going to be a Christian.
Nah, you wouldn't though, because you can't trust this motherfucker in the sky. It could be an illusion. That could be a hallucination. You can't trust.
Could be a Truman Show-esque.
Exactly.
Sort of.
You can't trust motherfuckers in the sky.
Yeah.
If you can
never trust those sky
That's
people.
True. That's true.
If a guy comes down from the sky and he's talking to you, the first thing I'm thinking is, I've lost my marbles.
Yeah. I gotta take some medication.
My first thought would be, what drugs has someone slipped me and didn't catch?
I wouldn't be thinking like, oh, it's God. Yeah. You wouldn't be thinking that, would you? You'd be like,
actually, we were talking about this the other day. I know we're not really supposed to talk about religion, but we're not trashing it. We
haven't done it in a little while.
Anyway,
bring it out.
We were talking about this the other day. When they're in that sort of singing hymns and, doing this and the other and praying,
all that shit.
It looks like it's some sort of drug. Like some...
Oh, mate, especially
do you know
when...
what I mean? Like, it's like when people are like,
the certain churches where
the certain churches.
It's like when you see these Buddhist monks that literally their entire lives, for like 80 years, they have just sat like this.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It's okay, I don't like you
They must be loving that... Yeah, but they must be loving that shit. To just sit...
I wanted
this.
to get a tattoo of that medallion.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good
idea. I got the Ace Ventura one instead, but I
anymore.
wanted the medallion. Like.
You have to get it.
Anyway, let's
Wait,
move
okay,
back to Samuel Pepys.
But he was
we've
also
gone on a big tangent here.
Big Diary documented a lot of significant things. Main one being the Fire of London.
But the real
he
thing...
was almost famous. He was also famous for, and I remember learning about this a lot when I was at primary school. I guess it was to like tell you something weird to get kids interested. But what he did during the Great Fire of London, he went out into his garden and buried all of his cheese and wine.
Why?
Well,
because I guess back then he was quite fire can't get it, and I guess back then he was maybe quite like a noble. I guess he wasn't poor, so because he was reading and writing, he had a diary and shit. Do you know what I mean? So
and it was a posh bitch.
So I guess it was like that stuff back then. Those like real luxuries, cheese and wine, that would have been so valuable.
Yeah, but
that would have been valuable.
We've got some important questions here.
Cheese, like...
This tells us a lot about his life, but it doesn't tell us anything about whether we could fight him.
Yeah, it does, because I feel like...
I think first off, he keeps a diary. That's a little bitch thing to keep. No. He's keeping a diary, a man keeping a diary. One bang.
Adrian Mole.
But when you don't have television and like Coronation Street, what do you do other than just write shit? If you can,
bang.
Mate, I'd be so bored back then.
I think it would. I think Samuel Pepys. It would be a one.
Keeping a diary is actually probably a pretty cool thing. Actually,
I'm thinking of Samuel.
I actually got one.
Arthur Morgan kept a diary, and Arthur Morgan's a fucking that's true. Yeah,
drew little pictures.
Actually,
and everything.
That's true.
Do you know what I always found weird in that? Do you know what I always found weird in that game? Yeah, I absolutely love that game, but I remember at the time thinking like that's a bit weird. You know when he does like his diary entries. And he like draws little pictures. Do you remember after? I won't spoil.
Fuck it.
There's
Red
a certain.
Dead 3's out now.
There's a certain. No, it's in. Oh wait, what do you mean Red Dead 3's out?
Okay.
There's a certain character in your gang dies, right? Gets shot in the head, and it's like, oh god, that's bad. Immediately after you finish that mission, Arthur Morgan will do a journal entry, and he sketches his friend dead on the floor with a bullet in his head.
I'd do that.
Yeah, I know.
Why? But it's a proper detailed drawing. Mate, he's on the floor like...
Yeah, but he's a Harlem cowboy, man. The amount of people whose heads shot
but would you not just draw a picture of your mate's face? Why would... I'm going to photographically memorise this. He's on the floor with a bullet between his...
Mate, you did some fucking Arthur Morgan, have you?
He would Arthur Morgan. Definitely.
Well, that's a tier list we should do. Video game characters.
Oh yeah,
video game characters would be really good. But
okay, Samuel Pepys, he looks like. Okay, first off, he comes from back in the day, so we know he's short.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, he comes from a posh.
When
background.
was the Fire of London?
It was 1600s, I think.
It was like fucking.
So anyway, so he's posh, so he means. You know, he's lived his whole life going.
I've got this whole.
Mummy, I need a tea.
Like you.
Yeah, like me. But that's a good point. But
I think it'd be a fair fight then.
I'll fucking
because this is the thing, right? This is what I was going to say a minute ago. We're talking situational, right?
1666.
You're jumping into the point.
How old is he?
You're jumping into the point where this person is most famous. He kept a diary all his life, but the thing he's most famous for is documenting the Great Fire of London.
I mean, he's a nerd.
You spawn him, right, in the middle of the Great Fire of London. He's gathering up his cheese and his wine, right? He's digging a hole.
You push him.
Smash that wine bottle over his head.
Push him in the hole.
Bury him in the fucking hole with just his head stuck out.
I think he's one bang. Samuel Pepys. Fuck you. One bang. You'll go.
One bang.
The Great Fire of London was 1666.
That's it, 1666.
Yeah,
I got it mixed up with Hastings.
It burnt a lot of.
I don't think.
I'll tell you one thing. It didn't burn.
Do any of you know how the Great Fire of London started and where it started? It's just coming back to me. I learnt more shit at like primary school than I did at like secondary school. It started on a street in London called Pudding Lane. And it's called Pudding Lane because that's where all like the bakers and people used to, and there was a baker's there, and I think it was something like he went to sleep that night and didn't turn his oven off or something, and it just everything back then was made.
They had ovens back then.
Well, whatever he was baking, it would have been like I imagine maybe it would have been like a
pizza
stone
oven.
Yeah.
Mate, when I think like medieval, I just think people in shit. So I don't know what you
think of everyone.
That event is what made us be like, right, we need to stop making shit out of wood.
Is it?
Because it ripped through the whole. So that's when they started making things out of like stone and fucking like.
Good.
The whole place was made like Tudor-esque, sort of just wood and beams and straw roofs and stuff. So everything just went up like a fucking...
One big fire and the whole place...
It took out... So I remember I saw that when I Googled it...
And they didn't have firefighters.
Wasn't it like five... Wasn't it like 5 Great Fires of London? This is just the one we
Very
remember
possibly,
the most.
I don't know.
I swear down, it's burnt down like 100 times.
But yeah, we
Anyway.
all agreeing Samuel Pepys is a one bang.
Yeah, like...
Next one, Walt Disney.
I mean... he doesn't look like much.
No.
He looks like just an average old guy. He was an anti-Semite, Nazi, so maybe have Nazi backup. Was he a Nazi? I don't remember.
Wow.
People say he might have been. Maybe that stuff's taken out of proportion. I don't really know. It's not my place to judge. But what I will say is that, I mean, this is back in the day, you know, like back in the day, people were like, I don't know, lifting triangular weights or like, that's what the hard men were doing. He's drawing cartoons. This is back when like, you know, like drawing cartoons now is like, I'm still a bit like, but like drawing cartoons back then, people probably thought he was a fucking weirdo. And he probably was.
They probably wouldn't have used the word weirdo, but yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, they would have used more colourful language that is now barred. On like, yeah, so anyway, I think I wouldn't say one bang, but we'd definitely have him. Of course we would.
I always thought that, you know, when it has the Walt Disney, his signature in the advert, I always thought it was Disney. Because the D's fucked up, isn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's all like...
Walt Disney, in his picture that I've chosen, he's got like a little Donald Duck fucking puppet on his
He's
hand.
playing with puppets!
Yeah.
Alright, that's it.
I would have a Donald Duck puppet and a Mickey Mouse puppet. like boxing gloves. And I'd beat his fucking head there.
I can't do fucking Donald. Can you do Donald Duck's voice?
No, I can't.
What?
No, I can't.
No, Greg, that's dumb.
No, I can't do it.
You do it quite well.
No. I can do Mickey a little bit, but I can't do fucking Donald.
Go on then.
Huh?
Yeah, you gotta punch the air like.
My opinion on Walt Disney, as I stated, is like I said, he's a guy back in those days who was drawing cartoons, so he must have been, you know,
A ninny.
yeah, like one of those like,
Oh, you're doing cartoons, are you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he secretly was like some sort of MMA fighter. You know what I mean?
This is the thing, I'm thinking in my head I would put Walt Disney in the middle, fair fight. Because like you look at the stuff that he's doing and you're like, but he could have just some like, if he is some like Nazi and we don't know about, he might have a bit of go about him, do you know what I mean?
And those Nazis were injecting themselves with like super chemicals and stuff, man. You never know what that
and it's not like he was like an old man when he was doing all this. He's still quite young and like, not really young. But in that picture there, he looks like he's about 40 maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd go fair fight.
And I think guys back in like those days, you know, did he fight in World War II?
I don't know.
No, because he was best mates with one of the leaders.
Nah, he was too old then, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe he fought in World War One.
He was part of the Luftwaffe.
I don't know. I'd put him in. Have him.
What, you think you'd have him?
Have him, yeah.
But not one
have
bang.
him.
Is that what you think as well?
No, I'd kill him.
Well, we're all three decided on something different.
Well, then we've got orange because that's the middle ground, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that makes
What
sense.
do you think
actually.
fair fight look? I guess. That's right.
I just thought fair fight because I just the stuff he's doing. Yeah, like he's playing with puppets and doing cartoons, but he could still have a bit of fucking go about him.
Yeah, that's true.
On a one-on-one.
Nah, break his hand and then you'd never be able to draw cartoons again, and then he'd go home and then he'd get an addiction to something, and then it would just ruin his life.
Okay, so it's not a one bang, but we still reckon we beat him.
Yeah.
So that's fair, I think. In that middle
yeah, okay. Well, can we just to put a buffer on this, like understand what's going on here? What do you think that against each other you would be able to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you think you would be able to do with Greg? Where would Greg be on this tier list for you?
Greg?
Against you, yeah.
I'll have him just.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Greg, what do you think about Lewis?
The only thing with Greg is that I think he has got some... But
One bang.
Greg is very slow and docile. He's a bit like...
Not when I'm fighting.
What's going on? So I reckon I maybe have a slight advantage.
I've had Matt before.
Did you?
I've one bang Matt, yeah.
Did you one bang you?
No, what happened is Greg was like blackout drunk, and I was like trying to like, Greg, don't drink any more alcohol. Like, just come sit down.
No, he wasn't. He was being a dickhead.
Greg, he don't
He
even
was pushing me around.
He doesn't
bullying
remember.
me.
You don't remember what you don't even know what you're talking about.
I one banged him.
And you got me in a guillotine choke, and instead of like tapping or anything, I just fucking let you not like choke me out.
No, he got choked out, real style.
He choked you out?
Yeah, but
Harry and Rara were there in shock. Like,
no, yeah.
Oh wait, this was recent. I thought you were talking like this was like when you guys were like 16.
No, we did like a
17.
live stream. Greg got fucking obliterated, and then
I was so hungover.
And then like he fucking like he guillotine choked me, and I was just like, he's drunk. I'm not gonna fight him. And I was just like, let me go to sleep, and then Greg just let go of me.
No.
Fair play, Greggy. Okay, I don't think I'd have you then. I think it'd be a
fair fight. We'll be right. You
Greg,
don't know.
if
You
I
don't know
want-
until you fight, do you?
No.
That's the whole problem about like gauging whether you could beat someone or not. Is that you don't know till you do it.
Nah.
This is all just conjecture, isn't
Well,
it?
me and Lewis have had a fight.
That's true. What do you think,
Not
Matt?
like a
One bang?
proper fight though.
Matt, what do you think? One bang?
Because it depends.
It was one bang.
No, but you didn't like. You did, but it was one bang straight in the. But the thing is, like, that's different because
Right
it's like we're doing a little organised.
Street
like,
fight is
we'll
different to like a
when you've
boxing
got
match, yeah.
all on the like, this person will pummel me unless I give it my all here. It's different, isn't it?
I reckon I could have both of you.
I reckon
Well,
you
at the same
probably
time.
could. with the weight and the size of you, definitely have me.
Yeah, look
Easy.
at the size of you.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've been knocked out.
You
by
just
an
grab
MMA
me and
fighter.
pin me down and lay on me, and I wouldn't be able to move.
It's true.
You just
That's why
elbow
there's
me
weight
in the
divisions,
head,
boys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not trying to big myself up, but that's why I think most of these for me are one bang.
Yeah. Right, should we move on to the next?
Yeah.
No, don't
The
let
next
up.
is
I
Charles.
just seen who that is.
The next is Charles Darwin.
Wait.
Oh, I think. Thing is,
Old.
I got
Old.
yeah, but I've got quite a bit of respect for the man.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
You've never said that by anyone.
No, I
No, you
like
haven't,
like
actually, yeah.
Darwin.
Yeah, but he's going for you, man.
I've
He's
read the
trying-
origin of the species, and it's
And we named our cat after him.
yeah.
Yeah, you do have a cat called Darwin.
So that I do respect the man, and I think I might let him win just for that.
I'll tell you what though, he's
You'd
got.
let him win.
Yeah, I'll let him kill me.
I don't think you could knock him out with like a tip to the jaw. He's got a lot of cushioning. Look at that fucking bush.
He's been around the world, mate.
Has he?
Well, yeah, he travelled around the world, mate. He's been to places you've never been, and you know what? Back then,
I've been to places he's never been.
Traveling around the world back then wasn't easy. You're shitting in buckets off the side of a ship.
I've shit. Me and Lewis have both shit in a bucket.
You're like fucking manatees and shit like that, man. It was hard times.
Manatees.
Is that where you got the idea of evolution? Was it? Me and this manatee, millions of years ago, weren't so different.
Why do they call it a manatee? Which is not related to a man.
Yeah.
Therefore, we are all related.
I think Darwin would be fair fight because, like you're saying, you've brought up all those points, but he is still an old man.
And he does come from a privileged background. So I think we put him in.
I'd put him slap bang in the middle. Because he has got a lot of experience, this and that.
And also,
but
we
he
don't know,
is still an old man.
and
so
we
if
don't
you
know
caught
what he
him
was
right-
like in his youth.
Yeah, but that's
in his-
irrelevant.
yeah,
That's
but-
irrelevant. When he
We're talking
he is
about where he's-
he
No,
is
but
how he is now
he
in
wasn't
that photo.
He wasn't that old when he released his evolutionary.
Was he not? Did he always just look like that?
No, but that's just the famous picture because they didn't have pictures before he was that old.
Why is there
Okay.
no drawings of him?
There are drawings of him young. Let's try and find some. Huh?
How old was he then when he did his whole theory of evolution?
Do you want me to find
Shit
out?
then? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, this is called research. That
You probably should have done the research beforehand, but we'll
Oh,
do it.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Lewis.
We'll do it for
Make
you.
the tier list and do the research. About
Remember when
people.
I
Oh
used to do
shit! No,
research?
he was 50 when he came out with.
Right, he's getting. I'm having him.
But he was in his
Some 50-year-olds
He was
are
in his
still hard.
30s and 40s when he was like first coming up with a theory. I mean, this is him a little bit younger.
Oh, dude, no, I'm not. If you that he looks like a caveman. The way his forehead and
bro,
like,
yeah, you punch him in the forehead, you break your hand.
I think he beat me up.
Right, I'm gonna put.
He's got a mean head.
Darwin's going in the dead deck.
Yeah.
That photo. Yeah, even that, you would die.
He's like that. He's like.
That man, he's got a bit of top.
He looks
Yeah.
top heavy, like the top of his head.
He's got like this much space between his brain and his fucking like top of his forehead.
He wanted all that extra brain for
Right,
the
yeah.
theories, isn't it?
Mate, he met chimpanzees. He was like, brother.
I don't think he'd kill me, but I think he would deck me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next one. Neil Armstrong.
Nah, I think it decked me because like
No.
Nah, those.
No, but are we fighting him on the moon?
Dude, this is a
Is this a moon fight?
This is a veteran. He fought in like World War II and all that.
Did he?
I think so.
I didn't know that. Did
I'm
you know
just making shit
that
up.
Neil is an anagram of a? No, wait.
Alien. Neil A.
Neil A is a alien.
Mm. I think.
And Buzz Aldrin is an.
Dude, if Buzz Aldrin's anything to go on, Buzz Aldrin was what, like 18 and not that journalist out.
Did he knock a journalist out?
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin, like this guy.
You didn't land on the moon.
Yeah, he was like a conspiracy theorist, and he's like hammering. He's going, "You didn't land on the moon. You're a liar!" And he's following him around town, harassing him, and then he just turns around and fucking.
Imagine, if you'd spent I don't know how many months
in a
capsule eating food out of like a toothpaste tube, and you get back and people are like, "You didn't do that." I'd want to knock people out as well.
Yeah, man. So he one banged that guy.
If that's Buzz Aldrin, I'd say Neil Armstrong.
I'm probably not much fitter than that guy, so I'm gonna put
Neil Armstrong. They decked me.
Yeah,
no. The only reason that I'd put
he's got all that space protective gear on as well. Like.
Yeah, but he's got the bike helmet.
He does. Yeah, you could rag that glass ball like.
He flew fighter aircraft in the Korean War.
Oh, but Buzz Aldrin's happy.
He's got fucking military experience.
Do me and you both agree he's in yellow?
Yeah.
Well, that's where he's
for me, it's only fair fight. He probably pulls some good punches because his arm's strong.
Yeah. That's all you ever do on the podcast anymore. It's these shitty fucking puns. These fucking. God damn it!
This is why I made a fucking make videos of
me
fucking
did Neil Armstrong
sniffing poo.
What do you think?
I can't come up with something that's funny.
Me and you, we've always shared a massive love of just stupid puns.
Yeah, no,
that's always how me and you have made each other laugh. Me
Armstrong.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Next one. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Genghis Khan.
Just dead. He would kill us.
Yeah.
He would just kill us. He would kill us and then fuck our corpses.
That man did some horrendous things.
And the thing is that he wasn't like a lot of dictators nowadays who got other people to do it.
No.
This dude was like, he'd be involved. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't think people quite realise how big the Mongolian Empire was. It's the biggest empire that the world has ever seen.
It's because the strategy they
second
invented,
biggest.
Well, the thing they...
Rule Britannia.
No, I feel like...
I'm just fucking around.
They had more, in terms of...
The reason they did is that the bows that they used were really... if you shot someone, relatively close range with one of those bows...
Yeah.
It would puncture armour.
Yeah.
And because they learnt to do it while riding horses, what they would do is they would go up to formations.
They could hit small targets.
But they wouldn't, back in the day, cavalry would just charge into a formation.
Yeah.
They would just go next to the formation, shoot them all with their bows, and then just run off. Come back over and just keep doing it until the whole army's just dead.
Genghis Khan's horseback archers were so
yeah, it was when you're playing Age of Empires and you research a new technology that's above all of the enemies. And you just go and fuck them up with it. That's what it is.
He used to do mad shit though, he completely... And it's true as well, isn't it? I know this is probably one of those common facts that everybody knows. But isn't it one in every 10 people, whatever, can directly trace their ancestry back to Genghis Khan. Because he went round doing nothing but taking over and raping. That was all he did.
Yeah, essentially.
Take and rape. Yeah. That was it.
I've heard some of the stories of them ripping babies out of pregnant women and stuff. Dude, it was a brutal time.
Yeah.
That's a time that we just wouldn't work in, and I think it's above us.
I remember hearing something as well about
I think you flourish in that.
No, I wouldn't flourish. I would flourish as a commander, but as one of the guys on the ground, I'd be terrible. I'd be too weak.
He did something when they took over a certain area or a settlement. There was he probably did loads of shit like this, but I remember hearing one thing about he cut the heads off of everybody there, women, children, even the cats. And he made a massive pyramid of severed heads.
That's totally something Greg would do.
I'm not saying I would, but to be honest, think about that. You did that, and then the town over comes to go trade, and they see that. They know not to fuck with you.
I think Genghis Khan dead.
Yeah, dead.
He
would kill us. He would just kill us.
He's a madman.
Right, next one. Prince Philip.
Is that
I wonder what that fucking Drogo looking motherfucker
when he's that old? Dude.
Do you know what I mean?
I should have just used a picture.
Dude, he was he was. I swear he was that old the entirety of my life. I don't remember him ever being like young and spruce and like with it. He was always.
He's always looked like he's a corpse, and they like.
He literally looks like it wouldn't even be a one bang; it'd just be a one poke.
Just push him over with a finger like that, and he would just topple. Yeah, I think Prince.
Maybe in his prime he was amazing, but
Prince Philip's getting one banged.
One banged. He's straight.
Oh, one bang. Are you taking a one?
Yeah,
bang?
well, mate, I'd fucking.
If we're talking prime, his prime was probably like 40 years, and he looked like that.
He probably got a hematoma from fucking wind. You know what I mean? He's dead.
Yeah, he'd fucking turn into dust if you punched him.
Yeah. Prince Philip's getting a one bang. Right, next, Charlie Chaplin. I feel like this would be a hard fight, yeah, because it's hard to fight somebody who's constantly in like fast forward motion.
Yeah.
And
he's got all that slapstick.
He's like glitching.
But he's also slapstick, so he could fall off a building and survive.
Yeah. You'd punch him, and he would go backwards like that on his legs, and then come back up like that, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like
he's got cartoon power.
I think.
But so did Walt Disney.
No,
because he was a little bitch drawing it. He was the actual cartoon.
Yeah.
Did Walt Disney actually do any of the actual drawing himself?
I actually don't know.
I'd say not.
I don't know. I think he designed the characters, maybe, and then everyone else did the actual hard work.
So he just kind of fuck it. I think Charlie Chaplin's decking you.
Nah, real Charlie Chaplin.
Have you seen that video where he's doing the boxing?
I think the issue is it's hard to separate.
That was Charlie Chaplin.
It's hard to separate the real Charlie Chaplin from the Charlie Chaplin in the films.
Yeah, but we only know him from the film, so we're doing from the film.
So I say fair fight because you don't know. He's an unknown. He's literally an unknowable. You don't know where you stand with this.
That's a good point, actually, because you could be expecting like the slapstick hit, and he could just come at you like, "What the fuck?"
Or you could literally go up to him and knock him once, and he'd fall on the floor. You don't know.
Do you know what? I'd agree with Greg there. I think that's a good point because are you getting show Charlie Chaplin, or are you getting real Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah,
you're getting show.
Nah, I say fair fight. Come on.
I think I'd agree with you, Greg. I think that's a good logic.
I think it would be like fighting Johnny Knoxville. It'd be very fucking hard to hurt them.
Yeah, because they just take it like
because he's taking loads of.
Because I bet Charlie Chaplin, he did hurt himself a lot. Doing
but he's
the
also
stuff
quite
that he
short,
really short.
So
well, I don't know. Did he just look short in his show? Like,
I'll have a look.
I bet he was short. Should we all take a guess how tall Charlie Chaplin was? I'm going to say
5'4".
No, not that. I was going to say like
5'4".
I was going to say like 5'7", maybe 5'8".
That's average height, though, isn't it?
I don't know about average.
5'10"
I think I'm like average height. I'm like 5'10". So I feel like 5'7", 5'8", you're on the shorter scale, aren't you?
5'4".
Was he really?
5'4".
I feel almost like just because of that he would be. I have him 5'4".
Yeah, but like I said, he's got the comical value. You don't know.
Okay, yeah, fair fight. I think fair fight.
I think fair fight because like you might show up and be like, oh yeah, he's small, but then because of his comical value, you're punching over his head, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
All right then, boys. How about this? Do you reckon you could take on Laurel and Hardy at the same time?
Both of them?
Yeah.
Well, they hurt themselves more than they hurt you. So
dude,
I feel like
they're like tripping over each other.
You get in a fight with them and then they end up beating each other up.
Do you remember the Laurel and Hardy one where he puts Oliver Hardy puts Stan Laurel into a boxing match?
No.
And that's good. The opponent guy is like putting nails in his gloves to try and beat him, but they like put on the wrong gloves or something. So Stan Laurel ends up with the nails in his gloves, and he like bangs the referee out, and they have to like run away. Like,
it would be chaos.
Yeah, I love Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, they're great.
It's so good. I grew up like watching that shit. But yeah, I think Charlie Chaplin fair fight.
Yeah.
Have you just seen the next one? The next one's John Lennon.
He's a little weedy bitch. Fuck him up.
I'm going straight for those glasses, yeah? Those tiny, stupid little... And I'm going to punch them into your eyes.
Because the thing about, like... Where are they from again? Manchester? Liverpool? The thing about Northerners is they think they're tougher than they are. So they get overconfident. And then you can just take them out.
Well, no, I feel like a lot of those... They are hard. But he would have only lived in Liverpool until he was, like... in his early 20s or whatever.
Dude, he was probably... you've been in a fight with him and he's just baked out his nut going, oh, my eyes are peace. And you just like, fucking what? And you just knock him out.
I would call Yoko over, yeah, and I'd be like, look, can you just like screech and cause as much like distraction as you possibly can. Yeah. And while John's like,
I'll just take
actually, Yoko Ono, no joking, sings like that.
While John's like, Yoko, what are you doing? I'm fucking like, that was a bit more Paul McCartney, wasn't it?
Same person.
Fucking, yeah. I feel like I'd have John Lennon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't one bang him, but I think I'd have him.
Do you know what I'd do? I'm like, hey, John Lennon, I'm a big fan. Psych!
Oh no!
I'll be like in the park, and I'll be like walking up to him, and I'll be like, "Hey, John Lennon, I read a book."
Yeah.
I've been to the spot where he was shot. I went to New York, and it's literally it's right next to Central Park, but it's not in Central Park. It's like the big museum, like Night of the Museum.
Yeah.
You walk. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's on that same side. You kind of like go past the museum, a few blocks down. It's like opposite the park, and then there's a big building on the corner, and that was like his and Yoko's like apartment building or where they were staying at the time. And that's outside that door is where he was shot, and literally like just there, just over the road. It's that like that's where. Yeah, he was shot in that doorway, but then the park all around it, there's peace signs everywhere, and there's people playing guitars, and there's loads of like Liverpool and Beatles memorabilia you can buy. Like,
for peace.
No, this is what I would do. I'd go up to him like, "Oh, peace," and he would look at me, and I'll bang straight in the eyes.
No, he's got the shields.
Yeah, but your fingers.
He's got the shields.
He's only got them tiny little Harry Potter spectacles. I would fucking poke right through those things. Like, "Oh man, I'm blind," and then I would fucking have him. Like, yeah.
I'll just wait till he's playing his guitar, and then I'll sneak up behind with a guitar, just smack him on the head.
Straight over the head. Do we all reckon we'd have John Lennon?
The fucking next one, bro.
If you see like some video, especially like later on, he's quite a weedy guy. Because I think the drugs.
Yeah, he loves weed.
He probably didn't eat much because he's just because obviously everyone talks about weed, but I bet he was on heroin by the end, mate. They all were.
This is so
because that's hit in the 80s, and that's when heroin started getting popular. I'm just saying.
No, he died before the 80s, didn't he?
Well, no, he died in 1980. No, he died.
I thought it was like 70. I thought it was 79. He died.
Yeah,
I swear, Imagine
that's
came
the 80s.
out. Like,
that's like technically.
No. I swear, like Imagine came out 81.
I'm just saying.
Unless it's like a posthumous.
No, I thought he died like song.
If you got him when he was like 21 and he's like proper young and he's spraying.
Oh no, okay, December 8th, 1980.
Yeah, like when he was like young, maybe that he'd probably have me. But I think like when he was really famous, he's just he's not really speaking properly anymore.
Are we talking bowl cut?
No, we're talking long-haired glasses.
Yeah, long-haired glasses.
Happy Christmas, Yoko.
Imagine screeching wife. That period of his life.
Yeah, I'd have him.
Yeah,
those glasses would be going straight through his
I think the only person he ever properly decked was his children.
That's for you, Julian, and the other one.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my god.
What was it?
He was a nasty man.
Moving on, next, Adolf Hitler.
Right, I'd kill him.
One bang.
Like,
just the rage of like we like the amount of stories that have been made about going back in time and killing Hitler, and you have the chance. You have to get it right.
Yeah. This bloke fought in World War One, but he wasn't, I don't think, on the front. Like, he was a messenger in World War One, right? And then in World War Two, he was obviously wasn't fighting in that.
Dude,
right?
when he was
I feel like
famous,
you got him on his own, he would just be, rah, what on Schweinhund, and he'd be all angry.
When he was
just
proper famous, like in the World War II era, he had like syphilis.
This bloke was a painter.
He had to literally have, what's it called? Amphetamine every day just to function.
Yeah.
Do you kill him?
We'd one bang Hitler. Do we reckon?
I want to see how tall he is.
Yeah, and
do we reckon Hitler's a one bang?
Dude.
Yeah, I'd one bang him.
Yeah.
I would.
He was a little bit taller than the other guys.
I'd mess his hair up a little bit, I reckon. And then turn him around.
give him like a noogie.
Yeah. Noogie.
Schnell! Schweinhund!
It was like, where's little Nicky where he turns him around and shoves the pineapple up his ass.
Yeah.
You're schnerious.
You're
You're schnerious. We used to watch that so much when we were younger.
Yeah, it's one of those films that
Are you trying to figure out how tall high he was? How tall,
You just need to type in Hitler's billing weight.
Is that a thing?
He must have done boxing.
Okay,
a lot of the
he
Nazis
wasn't
were
as
hopped
short
up
as you
on
think.
like
He was
methamphetamine.
He was about
and shit like
5'8", 5'9".
So he wouldn't
So
feel
he's-
your punches, and he would be like quick.
So he'd be
speed.
close to me and...
Oh, okay. If he was hopped up on meth, then maybe it's not a one bang. Maybe I still reckon I'd have him, but maybe it's just I'd have him just.
No, but I feel he was such an ill person. He looks like the sort of person that was like an ill kid. You know what I mean?
I feel like he wouldn't see it coming because when he was if we're talking about when he was at his height, no one would have even questioned anything he said. Let alone be like, right, come on, then let's have it.
Let his guard down. Yeah.
If you, I think he would be like, he'd be
But
surprised.
I also feel
that,
like the sort of, you know, like the moral sort of like, you have to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no choice because this is the moment that everyone has been waiting for. It's
Yeah.
someone to kill
You'd
him.
feel like the world was watching you. I'd
Yeah.
have to beat the fuck out
You
of
have
him.
to beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have no choice.
Yeah.
Mm.
How about that? Oh no, that's for another day. We got a couple left, so let's get
Yeah,
going.
we've only got 3 more. The next one is Beethoven.
See, I don't know. He's first.
He can't hear you coming.
He can't hear you
You
coming.
he's got sneak attack.
Yeah, you got sneak attack and
Was he deaf?
yeah, he was deaf.
How can you be a deaf musician?
You feel the vibrations.
Nah,
of
he
it.
wasn't deaf.
That's
He
mental.
wasn't
Yeah,
deaf.
the Beach
No,
Boys
but
song.
He wasn't deaf his whole life, so he understood music before he went deaf. So
Okay.
Yeah,
That
but
still would be a hard
You're bigger
transition.
it
than
would be
yeah.
hard, but he did good, didn't
Fair
he?
play to him. Like, that's,
Was he always old? You know what
no,
I mean?
but old back then is like 50, isn't it?
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, let's be real. What sort of era was Beethoven living in?
1700s.
And he's German
Maybe,
fella,
maybe
isn't
early 1800s.
It would be different if it was the dog Beethoven, and I feel like that would be it. 1770 to 1827 he lived.
Oh, okay.
So he was like 50... 58 or something when he died? Is that right? I don't know maths. Hang on.
he? I wasn't.
I wasn't listening, so I wouldn't.
I was thinking.
1770 he was born, and 1827 he died. Hang on, so...
Yeah.
what did I say? 1827?
1770, 18...
1827, take away
15.
1770. He was 57 when he died.
That is his song, isn't it?
I don't know.
He's got, yeah, but the thing is, he's got so
No,
many
no, no,
songs.
no, 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 no.
I don't know.
He actually had a second wing of music when like Nokia brought out like ringtones. They were like fur release and stuff, weren't they? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so like
Yeah, it was all like Beethoven
shitty
music.
ringtones. Yeah.
But in like MIDI file, yeah.
I'd say then maybe Beethoven would be fair fight because maybe he's got that like Daredevil, like Daredevil was blind.
Yeah.
Maybe Beethoven's got that like. You'd
what,
go
like-
to punch him and he'd be like. And he would like, what? And then
Spy-
Yeah.
I watched that the other day. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I
it makes me
love
laugh
that,
so
yeah.
much.
I'd put Beethoven in fair fight, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's got like spider senses. I feel
Yeah.
like you would like swing to punch, and he would see.
He'd feel the vibration of it,
vibrations
yeah.
in the air.
The thing is, I don't know enough about Beethoven as like a
I
fighter.
don't really.
to
As
be
a fighter, I don't know enough about
Yeah.
Beethoven as a fighter.
But there's loads of books on it. Why haven't you read up? You
I
fucking
don't know,
idiot.
mate. I feel like he's an unknown.
Should we go fair fight then? Should we go straight down the middle because we don't really know enough?
I feel like a disability. That's quite a big disability.
Yeah, I think up.
You
I
could
think,
sneak up on
I
him.
think have
very
him.
easily.
Have him.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, if he's
He's not gonna
deaf
hear
and
you,
you
he's
get
not gonna
spawned
hear
in
you.
and he's like sat at his piano, like feel the vibration. You could just sneak up behind him and just shut his head in the piano and just
Yeah.
just slam that little door down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you'd have him. Right, the next one's Rasputin.
He's gonna kill me, mate.
Rasputin,
No, I
Russia's
feel like-
greatest love machine.
I feel like he'd kill me.
I think
He
that
looks,
bloke.
he looks like a brutal guy.
He is one of the scariest looking men I've
Yeah,
ever seen
I-
a photograph of.
I
He
feel
also
like
has a massive cock.
Apparently so.
there
Yeah.
we go.
At the end of the day, he was just, as famous as he is, he was just a sex crazy monk. Like that's
But-
it.
but-
Really.
Yeah, but sex crazed monk. I mean,
Yeah, I don't want
That's
to
just a
fight.
monk.
I don't want to
yeah,
fight anyone like that.
Yeah, I feel like.
And he is a scary looking motherfucker. Like,
So they pickled his penis, didn't they? Do you guys want to see it?
did they actually?
I think so.
Was it actually that big that they pickled it?
They pickled it. Look. Look.
Fuck off. Is that real?
Yes.
What?
Unless it's some other.
Where is this? Where can we go and see Rasputin's dick?
Kremlin.
No way.
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be going there anytime soon to go see
No
whoever
way.
it is.
But he is a scary looking cunt. Like, he looks like...
Grigory.
Look at that man.
I forgot his last name is Grigory.
Look at that man.
Yeah, I know, man.
I feel like...
Not many people bald right like that.
No,
Was
right
that
in the
white hair?
middle parting bit, but still loads of hair. I feel like that bloke is so scary, yeah? Even if you got spawned in, you'd be like... Oh fuck! You know, I don't actually want to hit you that hard. You'd hit him once, and he would eat it.
He would
You'd
just
be
turn
like,
into like
sorry.
a ghoul.
Yeah, I think. I don't know about died. Actually, maybe died.
No, because he's impossible to kill.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, they tried to kill him so many times. Yeah, I forgot about that. They tried to poison him. He didn't die. They didn't they end up having to shoot him like a lot of times for him to die?
I think even then. No, didn't they cut his head off or something? I don't know.
I can't remember what they did, but they tried to kill him.
Too many historical figures.
Why? I don't really know enough about Rasputin. Why was this just sex-crazed monk? Why were they all trying to kill him?
Okay,
funny.
Something about like he was like friends with like the royalty of Russia at the time or something.
Right. I think Rasputin's decking you. I don't know about die, but I think deck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mate, he could probably knock you out with a meat spin.
Oh, but he was tall as well.
Mate, if he was in the middle of fucking and he pulled out and just spun
It's
around.
like a fucking baseball bat.
Yeah, he was tall as well. 1.93 meters.
What's that? I don't do
1.93 meters.
What's that in foot?
It's 7 centimeters off 2 meters.
So that's very tall.
That is tall, isn't it? Jesus.
It's not that tall. I'm about 180.
Well, a door, an average door is 3 meters, isn't it?
No.
Is
it not?
It's about 6'4" or so. 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, nah, Rasputin's eating you alive.
Yeah, I feel like
he would baseball bat you
Look
with
at
his
him.
dick. He's the scariest.
He's a killer.
He's the scariest looking motherfucker I've ever seen.
Nah,
he's terrifying.
I think he'd murder us.
He would,
and then he'd put like a curse on our souls.
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe die then?
Yeah.
No, he'd fuck us up.
Yeah, I agree.
Who killed him then?
They shot him, didn't they? I think in the end because they tried to. I'm sure they tried to poison him and it didn't work, and he lived. And then they ended up shooting him.
Apparently, poisoning people is very difficult to do.
What, in terms of getting them to actually take it?
No,
okay, so
like the
getting
body's
the balances
quite
so, like,
resilient to poison.
The Empress really liked him, was friends with him and stuff. But then a bunch of nobles hated him and thought he was like Satan.
Why?
And so they concocted a plan to kill him, and they did like everything you can think of to kill him. And then
I wonder if
I think they finally drowned him, and that finally finished him off. But they hanged
drowned him.
They shot him. They did everything. He didn't die.
Dude,
he
Hopefully
was there, like on the verge of death. He's like, I need to stay alive to get them Threeskins.
Yeah. I reckon if they hung...
Oh no, ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts, but if Rasputin's ghost is at the end of my bed tonight...
I reckon if they hanged him, he would just he would think about all the Russian whores that he'd fucked, and his dick would become massive, and it would almost push him off the ground and lift him up. Yeah, and he would and you like the dick push up into
yeah.
It'd be like doing that while being hanged, you'd be off the ground,
Nah, he'd fuck us up.
He's the only person in the world to be hung twice.
That's insane.
No,
that's
he
insane.
means something else.
Oh wait, you do, right. Oh god,
stupid pun.
He got big willy.
Can you just stop with your pun? I thought you meant
off.
because they tried to kill him so many times, he'd been hanged twice.
You just stole my joke.
Let's do a
Big
joke.
willy.
Well, it depends on where the camera cut
Big
off.
willy.
He has a big willy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird looking one, but that might be just.
They did they actually try and hang him then? Because I didn't know. I knew they tried to.
Greg's the one who
I knew they tried to poison him and they shot him, but I didn't know they tried to.
Why didn't they do it all at once?
Look, mate, we weren't there. We don't know the rules of it. We don't know. All we know is that he's a resilient guy, and he's scary and he's tall. I think he would kill us.
You're dead. Right, we got one more, and it's Jesus Christ.
Okay, let's
possibly the most.
Can we set down some ground rules here first?
I thought we weren't doing fictional. It's historical today.
Well, no, but this is the thing, right? Completely fictional, but they always say, don't they, that it was influenced by a real man.
Okay.
So you're fighting the man who was the
So
influence.
are we fighting?
I think you
are we
could
fighting
fuck
the
up.
literal Son of God that can condemn us to hell?
No.
Or are we fighting a dude that claims he's the Son of God?
We're fighting the dude that it was inspired off of.
We
So
would
just
kill
a
him.
normal
One
guy.
bang.
Yeah.
Murder.
So we're
straight up murder.
fighting
No one would have ever challenged him before.
And the thing
He'd
is,
be like, "This
but-
is my body. Have some
but
bread."
he's
and
there.
just
He's
bang
there,
him
all
straight in
going
the
like,
face.
"Oh, turn the other cheek." All right then, one bang.
I will not fight you. I will forgive you for anything you do.
Yeah, he's getting murdered.
You would get forgiven. That is fair. Can I just point out that we are talking about murdering Jesus Christ? Okay, just so you know,
Hey, look, no,
the
Jesus-
gravity of what we're talking about.
Nah, because we were talking about murdering Jesus Christ, the guy, not Jesus Christ, the Son of God.
No, yeah, that's true.
No.
So we're not offending Christians. We're offending people who.
Because if it's the actual Son
It's
of God,
hypothetical.
if it's the actual Son of God, you're not beating that man.
we kill him, we
You
murder
can't
him.
But then again,
murder.
the Romans beat him.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he didn't.
And-
much of a fight, did he?
And if you want to talk about height stuff, back then, Jesus would have been what, like
No,
4
half a
foot?
Literally like 2 centimeters
Three-
tall, man.
3
Like,
foot
you'd
9 or
murder
some
him.
shit.
You'd be like the borrowers.
You'd be like,
Stomp on him.
You'd be there like strangling him, like.
Yeah, I think you'd have Jesus.
You kill Jesus. Because the
I think you'd one bang him.
yeah, the picture you see of him is like, oh, look at me, I am big white Jesus. Yeah, you know what I mean? That is stupid. He's like this short little guy who's come from fucking Israel, whatever it was called back then. And he's like, you know, guys, I'm the Son of God. And then some dumb idiots are like, oh, he's the Son of God. And they all believe him, and then he creates this religion.
We're going to get fucking crucified for this.
Okay, I'm not...
We're not talking. We're not talking about. We're not talking about the actual Son of God, Jesus. If you believe in any of that,
If you believe in it, whatever.
We are
Whatever.
All I'm saying is that, like, this dude, alright, even if he is the Son of God, technically you could still one bang him. Mm-hmm. Because he was just in the body of a human.
and he'd forgive you for it.
So his body of a human was able to get crucified.
Did he forgive Judas?
Because if his body was superhuman, he wouldn't have died being crucified. He would have been like,
This is one of the,
you know what I mean? He would have broken out.
Have you seen
Broken
that
out.
picture of Jesus Christ, but he's like really muscly.
Yeah.
He's broken off
Yeah.
like the crucifix.
pulled the knife. Pulled the
That's
fucking
what
nail
No, he's actually
through,
snapped the wood.
So it's
good.
quite clear to me that Jesus, even if he was the Son of God and some super spiritual,
motherfucker. He was still 3'5",
and you still one bang him. Obviously,
He's still the size of Bilbo Baggins.
You go to
Yeah.
hell, fair enough, but you'd still one bang him.
That one.
That's incredible. You have to use that. As the
Muscly
photo,
Jesus,
wouldn't
man. He'll
So
fuck you up.
I think
I think
he's,
one
he's a
bang.
one bang.
He's like
I
3'8".
think there's a suspicious
One
amount
bang.
of one bangs. I think you've picked a lot of nerds.
Yeah, but a bunch of fucking dweebs.
Well, I was picking the most influential historical figures. Of course, they're all nerds.
Then why did you pick Prince Philip?
When you pick more fucking...
Dude, I had Bruce Lee, Rasputin, fucking Genghis Khan, like Sean Connery, and you want to talk to me? I've just picked nerds.
Wait, why did you... Oh, yeah.
I don't know,
I think I gave a good balance. I think
feel like
us lot are just more confident than we
I'm
are.
a below average fighter, and I feel like I'm definitely one banging more people than I should be.
But no, I don't think that's true, because I think that us three, we're like quite hardened to pain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could take punches easy.
Yeah.
A lot of these people probably never took a punch in their life.
I've only
or-
ever been
True.
in a few scrappy altercations in my life. Not
Tell
many,
us one.
but no. But
Why
maybe
not?
save that for another podcast. We'll talk about fights and
Fights,
going
yeah.
out and things like that. But like, it's almost like being a skinny guy like me. I've never once got into this mode, but I know I could, because you know that you don't have the weight behind you and you don't have the like, I'll just knock somebody out. You have to fight dirty.
Well, that's why...
Dirty.
That's why
If
with
I was
Matt,
ever, I know for a fact, if I was ever somewhere and somebody was genuinely really trying to
Yeah,
hurt
you
me,
gotta like go for the
I'm
eyes
not
and
going to
the
be like,
genitals
right,
and
let's
stuff,
have it.
yeah.
I'm glass in the eyes. I'm going to bite you in your testicle. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to bite your nose off.
Yeah,
I'm going to do.
well, that's why we've-
I'm going to do
tear someone's
psycho
throat out.
shit.
That's why when I
yeah.
was blackout drunk, I went straight for the guillotine with Matt. Because if you get behind a fat guy, he
Yeah.
can't use his weight against you anymore.
Greg,
I'd be like,
destroyed you.
I murdered you. I beat you up, and you're just crying. Stop crying about it.
Let's do it again.
I'd be like,
leave that in the past.
It's
in the past.
It's funny how you say you one bang me.
I'd be like, you know the little guy in Ace Ventura 2 on the backpack? I feel like I'd be like that. They'd be like, this fucking guy. And then I just go mental. Like, I
have to fight him. Anyway,
but that's our list done.
That was very good.
Thank you very much.
Please write in the comments what you like us to do. We'll probably do video game characters next.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do the next tier list thing we do as a podcast because they do end up being quite long.
We should do an MMA file one.
I know,
and it will all just be dead.
All of them.
Dead.
No. I know we say this all the time. But there will be a link in the description. I'll make sure of it. There will be a link in the description of... You're right.
Yeah.
Of our channel, our actual video channel that we use. I used my old channel and changed it to just the Threeskins, and we're planning on putting videos up there. And I think any tier lists that we do in the future, because I want to do more tier lists, but I feel like they would be better as videos. So we're going to do them as videos. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel. Go right down there now. While you're listening to this, the description box, first line, there'll be a link to our actual YouTube video channel. Go and follow that. And that's where we'll be doing all sorts of weird videos. But I think the tier list from now on will go there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I feel like podcasts, they're nearly 2 hours. Our last tier list...
Yeah, but how are we supposed to cut it down into a 10-minute video?
Do less.
To be fair, if we didn't go on tangents, this would be a 20-minute.
This is the trouble. We can't film. We won't film it like we do.
And we only go on tangents because we're on a podcast where you can go on tangents.
Yeah, we have to reel it in a little.
We need to do another one of them solo story videos.
Yes, we should. Yeah,
you guys, the one where I talked about where I got arrested and I was just fucking drawing penises.
I feel like we could do that. We'll do that on the Threeskins though. We'll take it in turns, every couple of months, whether to tell a story.
You got some, didn't you, Greg?
Oh well. I fucking remember them, yeah.
I've got a few horror.
That was the first time I got you to smoke weed.
Oh man, that was a day. That was a day.
Really?
Day to remember.
See, I've smoked so much weed, but I have never white-eyed or had a really bad time.
I didn't white at all, and I smoked everyone under the table.
Greg, he started strong.
Everyone, I give you just a taster, because all these people are been smoking weed for at least a year, maybe longer than that, and they were because they knew it was my first time. We're gonna get him to whitey, and they're all laughing. And I'm just there, I'll fucking try it, whatever. I don't give a fuck. And I'm just there doing, you know what shorty is?
Yeah.
I was just doing shorty after shorty after shorty, and I did I was doing fucking 50 of them, and everyone just kept. People wasted all of their weed trying to get me to whitey, and I'm just there yeah, man, I'm feeling good, and I just kept going and kept going and kept going.
Oh, sorry.
But anyway, that's the short of it, and Matt was there as my witness.
There'll be the long of it.
Yeah, but Matt was there as my witness because a lot of people have those sort of things yeah, man, first time I smoked weed, trying to boast about it.
Yeah, you really did.
But I really did,
and I saw it.
Matt as my witness. Matt wouldn't back me up on that if it was a lie.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
You're talking shit.
Yeah,
but you really did. You went ham.
It was good. It was good.
It was like the first time anyone, a kid had drank alcohol. He had 8 bottles of vodka.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
You see, I've never been much of a drinker, but smoking, I'm confident in saying I think I could smoke a lot of people under the table. Definitely.
What are you doing?
I'm saving the screenshot of the tier list in case you want to.
Thank you guys very much. Hit the like button if you're new. Lol. Subscribe. Get another channel. Just make another channel right now and subscribe with
Do that. Please do that.
Yeah.
Funny, innit?
Yeah, right. And also, I know we mentioned it earlier, but tip jar. If you would like to donate us anything, any amount, it doesn't matter. We really appreciate it. But also with the tip jar, you can write a message to us in your donation, whatever amount it is, and we will read that donation
you literally
out.
Give us 50p and we'll read it out.
We will read that donation out and your name or whatever you want on the podcast. If you don't want us to say your name and you want to stay anonymous, write that in the message and we'll do that. But if you would like to send us a message and have us read it out on the podcast, then please go and donate something in the tip jar, which is down in the description. We'll see you guys later. I am bursting for a piss.
You've had like 80 pisses.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, well,
I'm 3 Strongbos deep.
He's 3 Strongbos, but yeah.
Can you take the mic in with you to the toilet and just piss right next to it?
Nah, because
I wouldn't be able to, would I?
Yeah,
Funny.
it's too much. Leave him to pee in peace.
I've saved this.